Good? Out here. Good. Hair's a mess. Pick Central. Oh, hair's even worse now. Wow. That's tough.
Looked like a mess this morning.
Tough. Yeah, no product. The product didn't really last, but, you know, Case Race will do that. Is what it is. Pick Central Wednesday, August 22nd.
Yep, my dad's birthday.
Happy birthday to my mom as well.
My dad and your mom, same birthday.
Right. Take it easy.
That's why you don't see that much.
Yeah. Marty Mush, Big Ev, Chris Clemmer as well. Usual crowd.
Hey, congrats to all of us. We're all on the fan this morning.
Really?
Played our clips from the show.
Really?
Wow.
Wow. I'll have to go back and listen.
Maybe I can we can play radio clips on here, right?
I don't know. I think somehow we'll get in trouble for a competitor. I don't know.
That is a
Look
wild
at
look.
everything. Yeah,
Rico's look is wild right now.
It's a wild look, dude. Is there a hat laying around?
Yeah, I got one right there for you.
The
Want me to get that blue one for you?
Oh, I'm not wearing that blue one. Give me my fucking big red one.
The big red hat.
Yeah, my big red hat. AB, Antonio Brown. Were they positive, by the way? Those guys were my pals. I almost was coworkers with them. What'd they say, by the way? Fan.
The fan.
Oh,
thing.
I was Antonio
Oh,
Brown.
no. The fan thing.
said
It was. Because you know why? Because I was like, I'm going to go into the new topic, but I was like, let's touch on this real quick.
Antonio Brown.
What'd they say? Were they positive?
So I didn't.
Boomer and Gio?
I don't. My brother sent me the clip. I listened to it very quickly. It was right before this. I listened to it. It was from this morning. I heard it was a clip of him saying he met Frank the Tank, and then he cut it off. But and then there was another one. I forget what it was, but I'll send it to you guys after. But the fact that WFAN's ripping clips from Pick Central, it's just very funny and cool. It's not really a competitor. They're not.
I'll figure out a way to get him in here 3 days a week. What we got to do is get his son to act up since he's home. The two of them are home alone sometimes or whatever. And he's got to get out of the house.
Travel to the house to set up radio every day.
Yeah, I would love to. That's a goal is to do it down in the basement with him.
You can literally say quarterback to him, and he'll go for 15 minutes about something.
Yeah,
quarterback. He'll go forever.
I loved it.
I did too.
I loved too. I'm like any Super Bowl sleepers, and he mentions the Chiefs, the Bengals,
and
the Eagles. So like,
I also
nobody really was.
I don't want to brag, but he did say I was the best on the show yesterday. Just want that to be known.
You don't want to brag?
I don't want to brag, but I have to.
You had to brag.
Said that to who?
Yeah. His son.
Okay.
Just want it, I just want it on the
Colin
record.
can pull it up. Okay, perfect.
What?
No. Colin, you have that graphic from Sean?
Which one?
He said he emailed it.
I'll forward
It's all right. It's not a big deal. We'll get into it.
The main topic. Well, you should. AB. Fuck him.
I know. Yeah. So arrested
Baker
again.
Mayfield is number one quarterback for the Buccaneers. We're back. That same division.
They're all bad, dude.
Are
I think
they
they're gonna
bad
get the
though?
number one pick. Yeah,
They're gonna
the
be the
Bucks. I could
worst?
see the Bucks being at the top of the
They'd win
not that bad rankings.
They'd win 7 to 8 games to win that division.
No,
You know what?
only if the Saints
7 and 10 will not win that division.
Only if the
They
Saints
won it
are
last
an
year,
abject
7 and 10?
disaster.
That's what they won last year.
No,
You
they
can't-
went 8 and 9.
All right,
8 and 9.
8 and 9. They'd win 8 games.
I think only if
did
the
they have a
Saints.
tie last
Pretty
year?
sure it was 7 and 10. But
I'm going to look right now.
No, they definitely. I think they definitely was. At least.
I think only if the Saints are like an abject
8-9 last year.
disaster. No.
No.
You know, I was,
Every other team was 7 and 10. Funny division.
you know, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe I'm falling for the Derek Carr who burned me last year with the Raiders, but
That's what I'm saying. Everyone says like the Saints. Like, dude, he had the
Nah,
best
he was
receiver.
good, man.
He had the best receiver in football last year.
the offense wasn't. I mean, it was a problem when he was bad, but the defense wasn't.
Saints are my Super Bowl sleeper. I know it's a long shot, but I want an NFC team.
They're in those
You're
complete.
gonna win that division. You're gonna get a home playoff game. Like it's a good recipe for. Do I think they'll beat the Eagles? No, but it is football. On any Sunday, you could show up and beat somebody.
Listen, Michael Thomas is a plus no matter if he's just on the field. Like you're getting house money with him, sure, but like you're thinking that big of a jump where they were such a disaster last year. And I know it's a totally different quarterback,
That's the big thing for me.
Had a lot of injuries.
but
last
the
year, a lot of
quarterback that
injuries.
they have wasn't that great last.
Andy Dalton
It's bad.
is not good.
year. Derek Carr was not good last year either.
He was a lot better than Andy Dalton.
Well, yeah, he's
Yeah,
a
of
significant
course.
upgrade.
But like it's not like everyone's acting like it's like this huge upgrade.
Pretty big
I
upgrade.
think it's a very big upgrade.
I
think
don't
you're
know if it's-
downplaying that.
Yeah, I don't
think
Wait.
it's
All right. So if
anyone's
we were asking
upgrade.
Francesca based on that yesterday, biggest upgrades in the NFL from last year, it's Aaron Rodgers to Zach Wilson. Who's the silver medalist? That's obviously the gold. Who's the silver medalist? Try to go through the league. Giants, same. Eagles, same. Commanders, what are they doing?
No, they banned him from Heineke to Sam Howell. So
That's, you know.
Same.
Are we only talking quarterbacks here?
Yeah, quarterback
Mostly
upgrade.
quarterback upgrade.
Straight quarterback upgrade. Cowboys, same. So that takes us out of that division. Who do we got in the North? Bears, same. Packers, downgrade to a degree.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. Like Jordan Love could outplay Aaron Rodgers. Like he could be better than Aaron Rodgers. Do I think that percentage is very small? Yes. But we have to at least acknowledge that if there's a change, there's a possibility the new guy could be better.
I think he's going to be
Okay?
better than people think he's going to be.
Without a doubt. So that opens up the
I'm
door.
not sleeping on the Packers.
Not either.
We'll get to that. I like the Packers. Jordan Love, no, probably not an upgrade. Vikings, same guy.
Most teams.
Lions, same guy. Takes us out of that
It's just
division.
more. It's honestly, we can stop it right now. It's just the rookies. Like it's just
Who's
like,
the silver?
It's
Yeah,
Stroud
well,
and the Texans is ginormous.
But the point we originally made to me, and the silver medalist is Derek Carr.
You know who my silver medalist is? Maybe, and I don't know if this counts or not, Deshaun Watson. Now, I know that he did play a little bit last year, but this Deshaun Watson could be a huge upgrade. That might be.
Yeah,
It's not a bad thought.
that's a nice way of like skirting the system because he didn't start all the games.
Right.
I could
And
put
it
that as a
wasn't his
silver medalist. I could put him as a silver medalist.
yes, and I get what you guys mean. I'm not saying I think the Saints is definitely the most well-rounded team in that division as of right now on paper. We all agree on that.
The Saints the best team in the division? Yes.
Yeah, without a doubt.
On paper,
Defense.
Phil, ask the chat who we missed. Who do they think the silver medalist is?
it's definitely Derek Carr, but it's just like he has a lot more to live up to. Where it's like not everything's fixed with him. He throws a lot. He turns the ball over a ton, and that's a huge problem, obviously. And I don't know. I'm excited to see it. Kamara is also out 4 games. Three games. That's hurts the team a little bit
They
to
signed
start.
Jamal Williams though.
That's still a downgrade, but
Yeah, but I'm saying
good.
he'll be. I guess more.
Wait, Kamara missed 2 games last year, though.
Their
And they
defense.
didn't do
Their
well.
defense
They
missed a
No,
lot.
but I'm saying like we can't say it's not much of a downgrade if we're only talking a game. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, but it's still up to 3 games. Is still like, it's not there. I'm just saying I'm not totally sold on the Saints like right away because Derek Carr is there. I feel like they're getting a lot more love for having him.
Division stinks.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, that's the thing you got to like. So I think that division sucks. I like teams who can host a playoff game. Like I think you could get pesky like that. I think the Saints are one of my favorite division picks. Let's go through that. And then actually, you know what? Let's touch on AB because I think this will.
I didn't even know he got arrested.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
happened?
Apparently, the TMZ guy did it at like 4:30 in the morning.
Okay.
They got the alert. Phone probably rings. Who knows? His fall from grace was crazy. And I'm actually going to go a little bit further. When I say Antonio Brown in Hall of Fame, how would you classify that statement? Absolute lunacy? Like borderline? You're going to be surprised when you see this.
No, I mean he had a.
Booze is like he shook his head, which is the right thing. But it made me think, like, let's dig a little bit deeper into numbers. How would you classify that when I first said that? AB, Hall of Fame.
If you're just talking about the player, I think so, absolutely. But if you're talking about the person, I mean,
That's where
he
it gets-
deserves to be in a
yeah,
fucking
that's
loony
where it
bin.
gets-
I would say immediate no.
Yeah, I
Okay.
agree. No, too.
Pull up the graphic, Colin.
based on just pure numbers. If we're talking just numbers, I
The numbers, you're going to be surprised, like, where it falls.
I don't know if he played long enough.
but he was like the 4 or 5 years that he was like the best.
He had a 6-year run that was, like, unbelievable.
He did.
Can we zoom in on that?
Yeah.
All right, so here's what we'll do.
I would bet. I haven't.
Chat can vote, too. Chat can vote, too.
I bet
Let
he
us,
probably
Phil, let
is-
us keep an eye on that.
I
Let
bet
us
he
know.
probably shows over 10,000 career receiving yards, which is a big benchmark. That's a lot.
Take a look.
I bet
All
he's
right.
close to
so
100 touchdowns.
That's player A. You can zoom in a little bit more. Of all 4 players, which ones would you say are a Hall of Fame resume? Slow down on one. Go up because you see the accolades as well.
So 4-time All-Pro. That's big.
928 receptions,
All-
12,000
all-
yards,
all decade team.
83
big.
touchdowns, right? All right. So you take a look at A.
Champ,
You,
7-time
which
Pro
all you can all vote A. Go to B. 5 times Pro Bowl, 2 times All-Pro,
Comeback Player of the Year.
over 1,000 receptions, 81 touchdowns,
Plus 1,500 yards is a ton.
1,500 yards, right? Give me C. Over 11,731 receptions, 83 touchdowns. And the fourth guy,
90s. All
11,000, 65 touchdowns. So down on the touchdowns, kind of down on the receptions. Of all four,
I know.
all right.
I know.
Don't give it away. Of all four, how many of those do you think are Hall of Fame? I would kind of say all four resumes. To me, I think all four resumes are Hall of
You
Fame
need to know when they played.
worthy.
Like the era matters so much.
I mean,
passing
it
has changed
literally-
so much.
Plumber, it says it on there.
Oh, I can't. I'm sorry. I don't have my
It's
glasses
just-
on.
well, they got the top guy played in the. He's a Hall of Fame all 2010s team. So
Okay.
10s.
Right.
Next guy's he says one
Around the 2000s.
2005
All right.
comeback player of the year. So in that realm,
All right.
last guy was 90s guy, and I think the third guy's another
2000s
2010s
as
guy.
Okay.
Of the four, how many do you think make the Hall of Fame, Modi? You think those are all four resumes? If you don't have one, it's fine.
Oh,
I think I know who the bottom one is. I'm like pretty sure.
You're saying how many of them are Hall of Fame resumes?
Yeah, just numbers wise, like
I'm going to
based
assume
off
the
of
other.
that.
Well, one's AB, and the other three, I believe, are in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing as well. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think they all are.
All right.
Can I?
So go. Yeah. So go back. Yeah. Go ahead.
I think the bottom one's Michael Irvin.
It is Michael Irvin.
Yeah.
Now
that's-
compare Michael. Now the 3 Super Bowls and the All Pro. Michael Irvin's numbers. And don't get me wrong, everything needs to be like compared. The fact that he was a 3-time Super Bowl guy, like
Had a great run game. I get
unbelievable.
it in the 90s.
But straight numbers here. And like I said, I think to the most point when you said, AB Hall of Fame, like it's not that crazy. 750 receptions, 11,000 yards, 65 touchdowns. Go up to profile 1. AB's got him on. AB is 1. AB's got him on receptions. He's got him on TDs, and he's got him on yards. Now his stint was like 6 years of domination. Did Irving have more than a 6-year domination?
He had.
have to see it year by year, but-
he didn't. But he had like a 5-6 year stretch, and then he had a couple years that were decent beyond that. The issue though is like the game was so different back then. Like they ran so much more than they passed compared to now.
That's fair.
You just had less opportunities.
Yeah, he also had stars. I mean, they had spread it out to Moose. They had Emmitt Smith.
Right.
So like it makes sense. C, compare C to A. Where's C? 81? No, that one. 83.
yeah,
Right?
that's
AB's kind of got him
in
on.
the same in the same time frame as well.
I think this guy's a no-brainer. Any guesses on who this is?
Larry Fitzgerald.
Calvin Johnson.
Oh, see, I was going to say Calvin Johnson was B.
Go look at Calvin Johnson's numbers compared to AB's. Like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not campaigning for AB to make the Hall of Fame because he's a piece of shit. And I think off the field carries weight, but the numbers are better than you think. He should get votes.
I am personally banning Antonio Brown from the Hall of Fame because he took his shirt off and ruined the fantasy football championship for so many people that cared that weekend versus the Jets. So he is banned from my personal Hall of Fame.
Put him in the graveyard. Two is Steve Smith.
So here's another.
So
way to
compare
look at
2
it.
and 1 in one shot. I want to take a look at that real quick.
Well.
Steve Smith should be a Hall of Famer. Calvin Johnson's a Hall of Famer. And Michael Irvin's one of the best Hall of Famers out there. AB's got numbers that hang with him. That's all I'm saying.
Here's the other side of the argument. Do you guys consider Brandon Marshall a Hall of Famer? He played the same era as Antonio Brown.
I'd have to see the numbers, but I don't.
Honestly, like he's.
I don't, but Brandon Marshall has more yards than receiving.
Brandon Marshall was one of the best receivers
and
in the game for like
Antonio
a
Brown.
He was,
solid. I think
I know,
you can
I'm
make a
just-
case for him. If you're someone
I
who's
think he is.
at the top of your position, or at least like in that top few for basically a decade straight.
Jimmy Smith, he's not in the Hall of Fame. He has just about as many. He's 4 yards less than Antonio Brown.
I won't speak on someone. I didn't get to see Jimmy Smith play. Really,
He was good. He was very good.
So I won't speak firsthand, but I would argue Brandon Marshall's like on
I
that.
think Brandon Marshall is. Why
I
don't
mean,
you think so?
Antonio Brown was literally, I would argue, the
just
best
don't-
receiver in football for like 4 or 5 years straight.
Antonio Brown?
Probably, yeah.
That's the thing, too. That's why, like,
Oh, no, he not probably. He for sure was.
was, right?
factor in all the
was going
off-season
crazy
shit. The
there.
guy was a Hall of Famer.
Well, I was going
Yeah.
to say, too, another point about Michael Irvin, he was so great, but he also had off-the-field issues, too, right?
He stabbed
yeah.
his teammate in the neck.
Exactly.
The
so, like,
drugs they did.
Yeah,
before, whatever.
He
listen,
did win 3 Super Bowls. That matters a
to
lot.
forget
Oh,
about
yeah,
that
absolutely.
Sure, I mean,
AB won
he was the
one.
best receiver on a dynasty team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People forget to see they like to forget that he stabbed his teammate in the back in the neck.
Yes.
But I'm pretty sure, Clement, right? They made him wait, correct? Like he wasn't first ballot or
I don't remember that.
because they've done that to everybody. Like they did that to T.O. for being an asshole.
Yes. I
They
remember.
definitely would do it to Abe for sure. AB might never
I
get
don't
it
think AB will do it.
just because of
He's
the
had
guy he
too
was.
much.
Like Torrey Holt's not in the Hall of Fame. He has
Torrey Holt's not in the Hall
in
of
the Hall of
Fame.
Fame. He has way more yards than
Torrey Holt was
1,000 more yards than Antonio Brown.
That's crazy.
Torrey Holt's not in the Hall of Fame, huh?
That's surprising.
That's stunning because he's
Yeah, I didn't
like
even
Torrey
think
Holt
about
is like everyone. I think if you say that name, everyone's like, yes, he's in it.
Irving Fryer's not in. I know it's way before your time, but he has more yards than Antonio Brown, and he played in the 90s.
So do you think it's only going to get worse for receivers like this because they're going to start putting up the video game numbers that we basically play in a 7-on-7
I think
league?
right now is like the most talented wide receivers have ever been.
Yeah, I would agree with
I
that.
think
as
it's
Also, the
like-
numbers, everybody's throwing the ball way more. So
Dude,
like,
think
but
about
Torrey Holt, like Torrey Holt was one of the best 10 in his time frame.
for sure.
Yeah,
He's got to get in.
but the receivers
And
now
Calvin
are
Johnson's a no-brainer.
actually crazy. It used to not even be close to like it is now. Like it usually had a couple, like 5, 6 that are like studs on teams. Now it's like you got 2 on each. Just the Dolphins and the Eagles alone.
That's what
And
I'm
then, like,
wondering is can we get to a point where the league is so talented that there's what would you say would be a lot of knockout duos? Like to the
Has
degree of
Bengals.
to the
That's
degree
what I
of
was gonna say first.
yeah, but what would you say would be a lot? Like if the league had X amount of knockout duos in the terms of Hill and Waddle, that's a knockout duo.
Sure.
Knockout.
Jamar and Higgins is
Knockout duo.
Would you have considered Mike Evans and Godwin when Brady was there as a knockout duo?
not just below.
I mean, because Mike Evans is a Hall of Fame case
Yeah.
that people talk about.
I don't know if
I mean, is Smith and Brown a knockout duo?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a duo.
yeah.
Trying to think if any like. So what would you say the league if the
Well,
league
I would-
if the
even though
league got to 8 is that a lot?
Yeah,
If the league got to
that's a lot.
6,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean,
I just
it would
think
be a
to your point, the talent of all these receivers, all of them getting out, and there's so many of them. Let's say there's 37 or 38 true like number 1 wide receivers. That means 6 of them got to go play 2 somewhere else. You get my point?
Yeah, but
Like if we really elevate this wide receiver thing where it's like everybody's talented, you have to just go become a number
There's
2
also-
somewhere else because that's
but
kind of how the
even-
breaks.
I would say even past the knockout duos, there's a lot of 2s that'd be 1s other places.
Would you consider Metcalf and Lockett a knockout duo?
They came to mind actually for me too.
Yeah.
I'd say just
Probably just below.
below.
Like just right under.
I mean, within Jigba, my God.
3, yeah.
They're going to have a triple threat there. Hopefully the quarterback can get him the ball.
What's the Bills 1 2?
Diggs and like Gabe Davis.
Gabe Davis is elevating. He's not there yet.
wouldn't
It's
I would
say
say
it's a
like,
knockout.
Diggs is obviously.
So I get. So what are we at? Like 3? Maybe if we want to put
There's definite 3.
Seattle in there, it's 4.
It's like also hard not to just say the Chiefs even because it's like Kelsey and like whoever he wants.
Right.
You know, like
I was gonna say
it's
when he
hard
had Hill,
not
obviously
to.
that would have been like a knockout.
Yeah, but they don't have a real.
Well,
Yeah,
no, not anymore. I'm saying when they had Hill,
they
that
just
would
go make the thing about the
be-
Chiefs.
When they had Hill, that would be the.
Their
knockout.
their 5 through or 3 through 9 is better than almost
Watch-
everybody else's 2.
Watch
somehow.
Justin Ross be like an unbelievable wide receiver this year. Just like watch him be.
Is he okay? He got
incredible.
hurt.
He's back. Yeah.
Good. All right, good. That's good for them.
Yeah, but it was,
was
to
great at
to
Clemson.
tie that in. It was an interesting kind of. I looked at AB and I'm like, oh yeah, no way he makes the Hall of Fame. And I'm like, wait a second, 6-year run of like top, Super Bowl, this that. He's got a case. I don't think he's gonna get in. He's just
He
got
had
a
the
case.
case.
If he was a good guy, he would get in.
He had the case to be one of the best wide receivers of all time.
He was dominant.
Dude, he
Dominant.
would do every game. He was the best player, running touchdowns. It was you never seen anything like it. But he's a fucking nut.
Yeah.
$15,000 in child support though. Wow, he got boned.
He also in one of those, he won Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah,
That's tough as a receiver, like Justin Jefferson.
100%.
Well, now they've started giving a little more to separate the quarterbacks and whatever, but still impressive.
That's what's going to take him out of the Hall of Fame is that he never had that end of his career because he was just crazy and just.
yeah.
Right.
But if he had just had 3 or 4 like kind of okay years, then he'd be a
Where you
lock.
get to kind of ease
First
into
thing,
the.
just think
compile
about-
their
when
stats.
you say Antonio Brown, first thing you think of is all the off the field, not what he did on the field. It's just a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that hurts your case in longevity because the longer you get associated with nut job, it hurts. It takes away from the fact that he was a damn good player. Like the story should be damn good player.
The media that votes is going to smoke him.
They're gonna kill him.
They're not
There's
gonna-
no chance. I don't think there's any chance he gets in. But we
Think-
just saw those numbers.
Think about it
man.
like this: they didn't put T.O. in. Really take a think about T.O. for a second.
It took a little while to
He
get T.O.
committed
in.
no crimes.
Yeah,
My understanding, correct me.
he was just a diva.
He needed nothing off the field in terms of like bat in terms of like harming anyone or any illegal activity. He just was a diva. That's it. And they didn't put him in first ballot. I think he's like second or third in touchdowns all time in NFL history.
Jesus,
It's crazy. He was the best receiver in the league for like over a decade straight,
He was-
or like 1-2 with who. Like he was one of like in the like career league one of the best for essentially his entire career. those last couple seasons. He was an unbelievable player. As much as people thought he was an
Third all-time in receiving yards.
What is he in? And not just receiving touchdowns, just touchdown score.
Receiving touchdowns third.
Just
Touchdowns fifth.
Fifth all time in
All
touchdowns.
time. And they didn't put him in the.
history.
That's
In
ridiculous.
NFL history. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's fucking
And
crazy.
so, like, looking back, I remember it, but it was one of those things now. I don't remember the exact situation. You obviously saw it on TV.
The curl ups in the drive.
No. When he was crying, that's my quarter.
Oh, yeah, with Romo.
He was now he took it to an extensive level, but he had his guys back to a degree, right?
And you want to know
he was being a good teammate.
People give him credit for this here and there. That Super Bowl they lost the Eagles. He had a fucking bracket in his fucking ankle.
Yes.
Came off a broken ankle, played his ass off in that
Fully
game.
had a broken leg.
While Donovan McNabb, as much as I've tried to give him credit, was puking in the huddle. T.O. was playing his balls off. I think he had like 125 yards, like a touchdown. And the offense, he was the whole offense that game. They didn't do much. He played his ass off on literally a broken ankle.
Just check. T.O. didn't make it on the first ballot. He didn't make it on the second ballot. It took him the third time to get it.
And then he went full diva. He held his own fucking Hall of Fame ceremony. Like, he didn't go to Canton. He held his own at whatever it was.
Yeah.
I forget where it was. Somewhere random, but
That
maybe it was high school or something like that. But
I'm a grudge guy. I think
he
he'll
went full grudge on the Hall of Fame.
I think you look back at that and
wish you were part of the real one
and regret it. Yeah,
I don't know. I think he's such a guy where that means more to him. Like, I don't need this. This is for me. I'm doing what I want.
Did a personal fuck you.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, we just went over those stats and you don't get them twice is crazy.
Yeah, you wonder like
He's one of the best football players in NFL history.
Yes.
Position football players.
I just have a question for Rico and Clemmer. Before Tom Brady came to the NFL, did football suck to watch?
No.
No?
It was Tom Brady. No, it
it was just different.
was just, it was a lot more running, a lot more like ground and pound.
What happened there?
But you had like Kurt Warner.
Just making an old joke.
Was-
I think he
No,
lumped
he has a big smile on his face. He thinks
Yeah,
he's funny.
it's not bad.
A little funny.
Listen, not everything can be attacked. That was good. That wasn't.
Yeah.
That wasn't bad.
You guys
eyebrows
watched the
went
90s. That's why I'm
down,
asking.
Yeah, exactly. No, the thing that stands out to me, like watching. I actually called Francesa about this because I watched the Randy Moss documentary. He was talking about concussions one day.
Can I ask you a question? I'm
Sure.
sorry. Why did you clam up a little bit when we talked about calls? That was like your go-to. I wanted you to like tell him the calls you had.
Yeah, but it's kind of all. It's like showing a guy a video. Like,
no, I know,
like,
not to
look,
show, but like I just feel like you had so many calls to him.
I definitely did, but he also had thousands and
I
thousands.
know.
So,
I thought you were just going to show him the Oregon one.
the Oregon one, yeah, maybe it will.
Where he called to give him a pick, and he was
Yeah.
like,
But like it is, like
we don't do touts. We don't do touts.
You know how you have a guy come over and be like, "Look at this video," and then you kind of
know.
awkwardly have to
You're being
laugh or like,
respectful. You're
"Look at
being
this
respectful.
stand-up comedian." Like,
You're being
There's a line in
respectful,
Sopranos. Remember when is the lowest form of.
yeah, fair enough.
but this.
But I don't
is
want
also
him to
not
like.
remember-
What's he supposed to say? He's gonna like awkwardly laugh at the thing. You know
I
what
don't
I
know.
mean?
It's just I don't know. It's
I value talking sports with him a little bit more.
100%. 100%. I think you did it right. It was just I just feel like you had some legendary calls with him.
Yeah, the one about the concussions, you'll probably remember this. In the 90s, if you go back and look at these tapes, I'll still never get over now how big the shoulder pads were and the fucking leg pads and
I've
this
even
shit.
seen that.
And you wonder what these guys would have done if they could do speed. Because right now, they basically play, no joke, like naked. They play pretty much naked.
Yeah.
The shoulder pads are like this. They're just down right here. They wear nothing in their legs. They don't even cover their knees, which I'll never understand how they do that. I'll still never understand
I'll think about it. Like, when was the last time like knee pad stopped an ACL injury? Never.
It's
a
just at
pain
least
in the
something
ass.
where you don't get a fucking dinger. You know
But
what I
I'm
mean?
saying, I hear, but think about that knee pad. Like, I know, like, they're the same ones they use in the NFL. They're literally like, not foam, but you know what I mean. They're like squishy. Foam.
Yeah. I think you're
actually-
better off
they don't
wearing
do it-
you're better off wearing nothing in your pants but a volleyball knee pad underneath.
They'd help.
You know what I'm
Like
saying?
they'd help from like a bone bruise for sure.
Yeah, that's all. That's what I
I mean,
want. I
it's
just
not-
don't
it's
want
not helping,
the
like, the
I
structural
don't want the
integrity of
ding.
your knee.
I don't know.
And the other thing that I think leads to concussions too. I'm not a fucking doctor, but these guys don't wrap up or properly tackle. They're like missiles.
That's true.
Oh,
So
yeah.
first off, the game got faster and bigger. I say this all the time. Jack Lambert, Clemmer was like 25 when he was watching them. Jack Lambert was the biggest, baddest motherfucker for the Pittsburgh Steelers ever. Okay, middle linebacker. I'm pretty positive he was 6'1", 220,
Yep.
or maybe 230. Do you know how big Cam Newton is?
You sound like my father.
6'4", 260, or 265 or 250,
yeah.
whatever it was.
Like
We got a quarterback bigger than a middle linebacker then. Guys are getting bigger, faster, and stronger. And now we're letting them basically play like they're running sprints out on a track with no pads. They're missiles, and they're not tackling great. Like, it's
On the other side, though,
that's what's going to lead to it.
the
Like,
game was more violent though when
faster.
we were kids. There was a guy whose nickname was Ironhead because he would lead with his head.
yeah.
And like he
Without a doubt.
died of brain cancer. Like
I don't know. I still think the game's. Don't get me wrong. Like, you can't. They're not going to let you suplex guys and shit like that. But some of the stuff they still do violently, leading with the shoulder and being that fast. I think those hits match up as much as the ones in the 80s and 90s with those full pads because they were a little bit slower.
Have you guys ever watched like the old like TV commercials like promoting the NFL?
Yeah,
and they were all just like unnecessary roughness.
There was
just
a
absolutely
segment called
smoking
Jacked
people.
Up.
yes.
Yeah.
That was
And they
like
used to
one of the
promote
best
that shit.
segments. Like I remember like the big like I remember that huge shit on Reggie Bush, like on the swing pass where he got smoked. These were like top plays on SportsCenter. They're illegal now.
John Madden's catchphrase was boom.
Yeah, like,
Guys would smash the shit out of each other, go boom. Got any other material for Comedy Cellar, Phil, or is that it for now?
That's it.
All right.
I don't know how Peyton Manning threw the ball with how big his shoulder pads were. Those pads were ginormous on him.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of any other. Was there any other quarterbacks you could think of who had like it looked like how did you even put your arm up?
Almost all of them in college.
yeah, the college
ones are crazy.
You see like some like college linebackers in like the 80s and 90s. Their pads they have no neck because the pads are so
yeah,
fucking
and they're
big.
throwing it like this. So, like,
Who's the
and they're wearing cowboy collars and shit too.
Yeah, the neck
I missed
roll.
that. I missed the neck roll thing.
Who was the D lineman? He played for the Seahawks for a while, and then he played for the Eagles for a little bit. He wore literally like quarterback shoulder pads.
Michael Bennett.
Michael Bennett.
There we go.
He wore
Yeah,
the
Michael
tiny
Bennett.
ass
He
ones.
wore
His were-
tiny
Oh
shoulder
well,
pads.
Ed McCaffrey was the worst of all of them. Am I remembering that right? Guy for the Broncos.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Ed McCaffrey wore like
Yeah, that's
nothing.
Chris
Yeah,
McCaffrey's
he
dad.
wore nothing.
Brian Cox used to wear like a back brace. Remember him? He wore that like crazy
Yes,
back brace
with the
thing.
thing that said Douglas up on the top.
Well, there was because you said there was the neck roll and there was the cowboy that literally was like the big ass. Like,
Yeah.
Up-
Well, I wonder if anyone wore a neck roll. Did it really do anything?
I think they just looked cool.
Just that
Yeah,
little
they
piece
look
of
cool.
foam.
They just looked badass.
Oh, this guy. Jesus.
I told you, Michael
Yeah, he's
Bennett, he
wearing
wore
nothing.
none.
Yeah, it's
Like, see
Literally,
his
they're
shoulder.
literally quarterback shoulder pads.
Crazy. Now pull
was
up like
getting-
anybody from
He
the
was getting to
90s.
the quarterback though.
Yeah,
You
pull
don't
up,
really
pull up
need
Brian Cox.
him. Like
Bryan.
he just takes the pay. It's way faster like that. But
But the
That's like-
pads, if you
no,
ever got
even the,
tackled and got hit with pads help you. It's
Oh, yeah.
twitching.
But
The
they-
bigger the pad, the easier the hit is to take.
They even have the scene in Invincible where he does it. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's too slow.
He's too slow.
And the guy's like, "You crazy? Put on quarterback pads?" And he's like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, look at that. That's Brian Cox.
Yeah, that was awesome.
love that.
Look, I mean, you can see it.
Scary
Look how big the
motherfucker
pads
right
are. To
there.
Rico's point, though.
It's a scary bastard.
That helped. Like
The shoulder pad comes down to almost like his nipple.
Yeah.
now you're getting hit
So
body to
fucking
body.
far
Like it
forward.
is what it is.
Wait, real quick. I had
Go
a
ahead.
question because obviously when I say about first round picks, Phil thinks every one of them works out. So Clowney is now Ravens.
Correct.
Do you ever do you think he still got it? Like, is it still are they just hoping maybe he can still have a little bit left?
I think.
How long do you give a number one pick over?
Well, I think he's at a point.
Well,
in
he's
his
been in the
career
league
now-
for a while now.
yeah.
He's at a point in his
How
career
many
where I
years?
think
8,
you're.
9?
I think it's 2014.
Yeah.
14.
Yeah.
But he kind of
No, I think it's a formidable. I think you have a better. If you're going to take a risk on a guy, at a low price, kind of, or like a resurgence, you probably want a guy with number one pick pedigree, been around the league. Like I think he at least knows where he is. Like he brings some experience to the locker room.
Does that give
gonna
you
be- he's gonna be like a-
couple extra years?
I
Just
think
because you
for
got
him
that?
it's like a pass rusher. It's more like you're not signing him to be like your every down. dude.
No, for sure
He's
not.
gonna like come off the edge on third downs. He still can do that very well. And I think on a team like the Ravens, I mean, Ravens I like almost bow down to. They've done such a great job the last 25, 30 years just drafting talent, evaluating talent.
Great franchise.
I'm
He
sure.
had 9 sacks 2 years ago.
Something
I know,
like-
like,
yeah.
he
No,
only
that's
had
what I'm
2
saying.
last year,
I'm
I'm
though.
not saying is all. It's because sometimes me and Big Ev talk about this. Like when the Giants signed like Kelvin Benjamin, we're like, hey, maybe he still got
Yes.
it. Like he had a talent
like that
once.
moment where you're like-
Obviously, you don't. Like when your team gets somebody like that with a name, you're like, oh fuck, maybe we got a number one pick on a team right now.
That was like when Mitch Trubisky started bouncing around at first. Like, oh, he was like, what was he, second or third overall?
Yeah, you're like, oh, maybe we could
They
take.
didn't
him.
draft him.
But I'm gonna tell you
Mahomes.
right now, the Ravens are if we want to get to that.
Yeah, so that's the transition.
Zay Flowers looked
Well,
really
man, I
good
just want
last
to say
night.
something. One thing about Clowney, he's wearing number 24. What's your guys' thoughts on these like college football type numbers on players?
No, I'm
care.
so glad you asked because I love it. And
Yeah,
I think everyone
but-
who bitches
I'm with
is
you, Big
fucking
F.
I
annoying.
just don't care though. Like,
I'm
where
almost starting to like it more because people
Teddy
complain
Bridgewater
about
50?
it.
Sure. Go
I
for it.
kind of like.
You care about it.
No, I don't care
little
about it.
bit.
But I just from the look, either single digit or go traditional. That's where I'm at.
That's, I
I think Clowney looks better in 6 than he does 24. 24 to me is kind of weird. Go 6 or go 98. Anything single digit I thought always looked. And like the teens for wide receivers, I can make a case with that too.
They've been doing that for a while.
Yeah.
Like the single-digit defensive players, I love.
Single digit
I really
defensive players is
like. Because even in
like a safe. Your safety is
college, a lot
number
of the
2
time-
out there. Like that's a good look.
in college, a lot of the time, your stud DN would wear like a single-digit number.
Yeah, you got a
Like-
shutdown corner at number 7. Like that's
Last year, JPP wore number 4 for the Ravens.
oh jeez.
But that's like the single-digit DN. I kind of like it. Because I don't mind like even backers wearing like number 20s and like stuff like that. Because in college they do the same thing.
Bro, it's not talked about. JPP's just still a stud with like 4 fingers.
Yeah. Won a Super Bowl before.
That shit's so
He was
underrated
in-
that he just blew off his
Won
hand.
with
He
one.
was in Donnie Damage's Shore House. Have the picture. Swear to God.
What?
I still got a lot of love for that. Man.
Before he blew it off.
Really?
Yep, I'll pull it up.
Damn.
Division winners. I think it's kind of boring the more I go through this in terms of real wow factor winners. Like I tried to take some chances, and I kind
I
of
have some
was
chances.
there. Where's I at? Phil, you can open them up too if they want to call in. Let's see if somebody's got a real long shot. Somebody's got a real hard take.
I have some chances.
Do you shake your head? I'm trying to incorporate you.
No.
Instead of being a troll?
I'm talking to the control room people, my brethren.
They have
All right,
names.
fair enough. I said, Phil, open them up. And he's like, oh, I don't fucking open them up. Like, he's looking at me like, I don't do the fucking calls. All right, Phil.
That's a way cooler voice than his.
Tomorrow you'll be on fucking bagel duty. You keep acting up. All right, division winners. AFC East. Anybody taking a chance aside from the Bills?
Jets.
Dolphins.
Oh, Mark.
I hate it.
Why? What do you guys laugh? Like, what are you laughing at?
Crazy.
Yeah,
Plus 300 with a Tua. When Tua plays, I know he's got injury prone. If you look how he got tackled, he's learning how to not slam his head on the floor.
Jiu-jitsu to learn how to fall.
Yeah, and it worked. And dude, that offense is so fucking explosive, and the defense is good. I don't know. That's not a crazy take.
8-5 with Tua last year.
Yeah,
I'm not saying good or bad. I'm just
That's
putting
good.
the facts out there.
And
That's also
and I
when-
think
enough to
you
win a
could
division.
argue,
yeah, I think
one
so.
of them, the Bengals game, he got hurt. Like
He got hurt
almost
in
immediately.
the middle. Like that's a very, very explosive offense.
I don't think it's. I'm saying the Jets, but I don't think saying the Dolphins is like the craziest thing.
It's also plus 300. It's not anything like crazy.
Yeah, the Jets make sense to me, but I'm down on that. I think that schedule is going to get them a little bit behind the 8 ball, and I think that in the middle of the season they got to catch a real hot run. Now they might make a run at it towards the end.
Yeah, their
because
second half is pretty
even
easy.
Yeah.
it slows the fuck down, and they could go 8-0 to end the season, like
Right.
7-1, whatever. But
I
Bills
think as long
also-
as they get out of that 500 in the first 6 weeks,
Yes.
then they're golden.
Bills won the division by 4 games last year. So when I see stuff like that, it's like I have a hard time seeing that much regression. You know, like I just
But that's just because, and that's also again Tua not playing most of the games, and
and
then
Zach Wilson on the Jets.
Zach Wilson,
I
horrible.
understand. I'm
and the
taking the
Patriots are. I don't think.
I hope
I've
I'm
seen
wrong. I
Patriots
hope the
plus
Jets-
no, I don't think anybody would play the Patriots.
No.
I think Mike was spot on with that. I don't think they make the playoffs. The North, I'll take the Ravens as well, just to try to not pick every favorite.
Ravens.
Now, ask me who I think really is going to win the division. I'm rooting for Burrow. He's the coolest guy out there. Like, it's great. I'd like to see this turn into a rivalry of Mahomes and Burrow almost every other year in meaningful playoff games, like a la Brady Manning, like every year. And as much as I'm kind of rooting, I'll be honest, I am rooting for Mahomes to be the best ever, and I'm rooting for him to block all these guys. If it turns into a thing where it's like Magic and Bird, and they're alternating who's going each other year, and we get to see this rivalry play out like for basically their whole careers in my prime, where you remember, I think that's going to be awesome, compelling television.
It is.
But in terms of this exercise, and let's take a shot, give me the
Let me
Ravens
ask
plus
you
the
a question.
225.
What have the Ravens been missing?
Wide receivers.
Wide receivers and any type of weapon for Lamar Jackson. The defense is if you say Ravens, you know their defense is good. You don't even have to name anybody on the defense. You know their defense is going to be solid. You don't know how Odell's going to be. I think he should be at least a little, like, help him out a little bit. Zay Flowers, like, and
yesterday he looked
what?
fucking. Zay Flowers looked awesome.
Don't say that though, because Phil says you're not allowed to say that when they're first round pick. But
Mark Andrews might be my favorite tight end.
and
By the way,
he's a stud, and Lamar hopefully, and that's obviously
I will double dip that motherfucker in prime time till I'm blue in the face.
But that's also
Touchdowns, giving it to me.
Lamar's another guy where you have to be like, hopefully he stays healthy. It's just what you have to think. And is Dobbins still? Is he back?
He's back.
Is he good?
They're trying to get a contract done with him.
This is the closest division for me. Like, out of all of them, I'm taking the Bengals. I know it's boring, it's chalk, but I just think that they're better. But like, this is the one I had the hardest time deciding between.
I don't think the Steelers can win, but like, you can make somewhat of a case.
I was gonna say this. I'm kind of go Rico's take where if you put a gun to my head and said pick the winner, I would say the Steel. I would say the
So
Bengals.
you're taking Steelers over Browns.
Given the odds, given that they're getting 450 on the Steelers, I think they can win the division. Like, I think their ceiling is high.
So I think they're better than the Browns.
Yes, I
You
do.
took a flyer on the Steelers here?
Yes. Like I said, a gun to my head, I would take the Bengals to win the division.
Yes.
But if you're going to give me plus 450 on the Steelers,
Well, in a competition is
Compared
trying to
to
get the
everybody
most
else.
units. Yeah, where are you going to take a shot?
I think the Steelers are going to be very, very good. Kind of going off the Tua thing last year is kind of crazy for a defensive player. With T.J. Watt, they basically didn't. When he didn't play, they lost like every game.
Yeah.
He matters that much to the defense. I think him being fully healthy is huge. Year 2 of Pickett obviously is massive. I think Pickens is going to have a big year. He found a good rapport with Deontay Johnson. Maybe he'll score some touchdowns this year. But also a big thing, I've been seeing Jerry talk about it. I've been seeing it myself in their preseason. Najee Harris might fuck around and lose the running back job.
Bro, I was gonna say he's.
I know you remember him from Oklahoma State. Jalen Warren.
Yes.
He's a stud.
They're talking shit about you back there.
Oh, I just got the mic on.
I was gonna say,
I see the picture?
do you guys know the last time the Steelers were in last place?
Definitely not with Tomlin. He's
been fine.
Probably not with
500.
Cower either. Or maybe it was, but it was a long time ago.
awesome. They came in last in the division. Oh my God.
80s?
1988 when Clemmer was graduating high school.
No, funny, Phil. No, I was not. I was in 3rd grade, though.
Close enough.
Yeah.
I mean, just impressive. I mean, they've had three.
Got it. Of all the fucking psychotic things he's gonna say, the ground balls.
Yeah, that
and
was light.
Put it this way: if he's shooting you with a pea shooter, just don't even go just brush it off. When he brings
just
out the
hurts-
bazookas,
it
then you
hurts
have a right
coming
to.
from
You know what I
him.
mean?
No, I know.
Laugh at the pea shooter.
No,
I gotta say,
see that
laugh
guy
at the
saying
picture.
it, and you're like,
it's just a paper cut, but by the 1,000th paper cut, you want to wring his neck.
but you see, it's that guy. You
Fair
know?
enough. Just laugh at the pea shooter.
I think the disservice you too is that like we used to just smother Brandon with old guy jokes.
Yeah.
So now you're just the old.
I understand. Oh, I'm well aware I'm the old guy. That's fine. I just don't want Meek
I
Phil
said
reminding
Brandon
me.
was because I would still. Brandon takes it more personal, so it's funnier to give him the Brandon.
We're loaded too, so let's get through these, and I'm interested to see who's got division winners. But sorry, so you're on the Steelers. Which way you play in the North?
Bengals.
What?
Bengals,
Bengals.
yeah.
All right, so we're on the Ravens. South. I hate this. It's got a minus sign next to it. Jacksonville.
If I'm,
Anybody playing different?
They're going to win the division.
they're gonna win. Like, listen,
They have to.
You're
win.
an idiot.
You have to. That would be an abject failure if they don't win that.
You're an idiot. Like if you're like taking anyone else, but like, I'm enamored by Anthony Richardson. I don't know what it is about it. I love the hype. I love the Colts. Jim Irsay, how fucking crazy they all are. I think they can. I think they're better than the Titans. Honestly, I don't know. The Titans are just. I don't know. I don't know how DeAndre Hopkins is gonna go with how's Tannehill gonna be. I think it's gonna. I watch out for the Colts a little bit.
By the way, after we had our discussion last week about this, same kind of like talking about divisions and things like that, I immediately put a parlay down: Jaguars and Chiefs to win the divisions, plus 151.
I like that. You turn a negative into a positive.
That's pretty good.
That's a perfect segue. Chiefs minus 190. It's the heaviest
Fuck that
juice
one.
out there. Anybody else playing aside from the Chiefs?
If I was going to, it'd be the Broncos, but I'm not going to do
Okay.
that. But
Yeah.
No one's doing it.
Chargers are going to be pesky, but yeah, it's the Chiefs to me. And then the NFC, this one's a walk too. The Eagles minus the 130, even being Giants fans. Or are you going to play the Giants?
They should have won.
Sound edge.
Listen, they should have won the division. I mean, this isn't biasing. Get on the Eagles. I mean, they're just absolutely stacked.
Yeah.
Offense, defense, they're offense. And the thing with them is why I think their floor is so high is because the offensive and defensive line are just so good. And
Yes.
when your offensive line is good, your defensive line is good, it's almost impossible for your team to be bad.
Yes.
I'm trying my
When your-
hardest.
when your foundation is that strong.
I'm trying my hardest to convince myself that Jalen Hurts is just like he had a good year and he's gonna come back. But I can't. I've tried. I'm trying to. We'll see.
You
but
and everybody else.
I've hated how
I
much
don't think
I've defended him.
everybody. I don't think everybody else. Like I think the Eagles fans get very defensive
A lot of
about.
people have been I'll give Booze a little. Not everybody, but there's definitely been a crowd that's been saying, "Oh, like one hit wonder."
But it's
Chris
also
Sims.
a
He's not
kind
that
of a
good.
fair thing to say, where it's like he couldn't throw the ball. All of a sudden, now he's throwing the ball really well. Where it's like maybe he had that one. Well, this is a huge year for Jalen Hurts.
it is accurate to me. He was regardless of
accurate.
the stud receivers, accurate's accurate.
No, you have to give him his credit. He was
We've
fantastic.
seen now that we've seen like Josh Allen did it, where he had a big jump where he became much more accurate.
It's also
I'm
a lot
I'm
easier
believer
to
as
have
much as
him have a good year because that team, again, like you said, is stacked.
Cowboys plus 185, probably the worst
No
value.
thanks.
Oh,
I think
No
of all of
thanks
these
at all.
teams.
No
God.
thanks.
The worst.
Yeah,
Well,
no
thanks.
chance.
In
I'd
the-
rather take the Giants over the Cowboys.
In the North, I'm going to play the longest one on my board, Packers plus the 375. I think one of these divisions has to go chaotic. I like the Lions, obviously like Campbell. It's good for Goff to be back. It seemed like he got written off,
Yeah, a little bit.
you know, so like it's good to have Goff
that's-
back. The
that's
guy
the
made
way
it to
it
a
is.
Super Bowl, and like it was an ugly game, but they were in the fucking game.
The
They
offense
could get
was-
anything going.
People
you know,
forget the offense was prolific.
It is what it
Offense
is.
super
I'm going to take the Packers in terms of the
But-
long shot here.
Listen to this, because last year we all know they were frauds. We all knew they weren't the best team where they had that many wins, but the Vikings at plus 275 is crazy.
That's what I'm on.
That's a great
Yes.
value
Coming
for a
back
team
with the Vikings?
Where they what they
Yeah.
win 13.
13 they
games
won
last
division by
year?
4 games
Like,
last year.
Yeah.
Even though you could call them frauds,
nailed
they
that.
still won those games.
Yeah.
Like, and they still have Justin Jefferson. Kirk Cousins is going to be. Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback.
Reliable, stable. He's
Where
the
it's
most
like-
stable of the guys.
Plus 275.
Lions
I love
hype,
that.
Let's slow down the Lions hype a little bit, where it's like plus to win the division, they're the favorite. Plus 275 is great value for the Vikings.
Yep, I love that too, Marty.
Where are you?
I had thought about taking a shot at the Packers as well.
Okay.
Just given the number. I'll see. I
I also
respect
could
for the
see a
Vikings.
world where the Packers get hot and the Jets struggle out of the gate, and it's like, ooh, I
could
just
see that. Too. A little
little
storyline.
bit.
I could see that.
Oh, that's I was thinking of like this great theater where it's like
Yes.
they both like all the Packers make the playoffs and they just both make the playoffs.
Yep.
Or the team's basically just as good with Jordan Love this
Yep.
year as they were with Rodgers.
That'll go against, to Clemmer's point, he doesn't agree, but that's the Jets' karma. Like things going wrong
Do not
against the
agree.
Jets. I could see it.
Honestly, and one thing, the Packers, their defense is good. People
Yes.
are not talking.
Very good.
The defense is very good. No one's saying that. Like they have a good defense. They have a good foundation.
That they're like the team this year that like everyone's like, oh, they're so bad, and they're not.
Yeah, I think they're solid. I think they're going to be at least like I think at worst like 7 and 10.
And also,
Absolute
Jordan
worst.
Love has learned from one of the best quarterbacks from a couple years now. Where it's
He's
like-
looked good when he's played.
Which worked out for Rodgers sitting behind Favre for a little bit. So
I got kind of a hot take. I think Jordan Love is going to be trash.
think
He hasn't
it's
played a lot of football,
hot.
and every time I have seen him play, and this is just going off the eye test, he hasn't been good. And you say like he's been learning off of Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers didn't really like mentor him. He wasn't like that guy. He
That
wasn't
we
trying to
don't
be
know,
that guy
though.
for him like he is now.
we don't
yeah, but
know.
I don't know.
Just because we watch Hard Knocks doesn't know. Like,
mean,
I don't know about the I think Jordan Love could then be a sponge and pick things up that we don't realize.
No
you
matter
know,
what, you're in those
possibly.
meetings.
He's in the system for
You're
like
in the
years. I
system.
like that a lot.
how to
you're
treat his
meeting-
body, how to read tape, like
Aaron Rodgers is a complete asshole too. Like he probably talked to the guy. You know, like what? Just because it's Zach Wilson, he's going to talk to him and not Jordan Love.
I don't
Like
think he's talking to him.
you don't think he's talking to?
I don't think he's talking to Zach Wilson. I don't think Zach Wilson's worth anybody's time.
Oh, I don't know. I think they are. I think
But
they
I
have,
think
that's
he
a great.
talked to, no, but he talked to Wilson
decision for
before
that.
because he doesn't see him as a threat whatsoever.
Right.
Yeah.
He's
I
like,
think
come-
he
Yeah.
was
he's like,
pissed.
come here, kid. Like, let me help you. Be
He
good.
was pissed.
Maybe
at
you
the-
can like just like bring yourself back. You know what I mean?
You ever think about
picking
playing
the
tight end, little guy?
Like even the one he was calling plays from preseason and all fired up for him. Obviously, when they drafted Jordan Love, he was not like that because he was like, guy, I just won I'm MVP candidate, and you're drafting a quarterback in the first round.
Yeah.
Well, I have like 5 good years left in me.
Zach
What are you
Wilson
doing?
owes Aaron Rodgers like his entire life because for the image of Zach Wilson now is like, oh man, he's gonna take this team when Aaron Rodgers leaves. Like he's still gonna suck.
He's doing the no-look passes though. He's getting the ball out
Exactly.
in 2
Look,
seconds. Like you see
Jets
the
fans,
changes.
Jets fans are all in on.
No,
it.
but you
am
can
too.
actually see the changes.
Yeah, but you don't change in 3 weeks.
It's
That,
fine.
That's
It's
also my
like
dad had
practice.
him
That's
pegged
That's
coming
in
out of
practice.
BYU. If you go look at what BYU did without Zach Wilson, it was just as good as
Yeah.
him there. So
I'm just saying I like the fact that the kid's getting. This is the best situation for him. It's the best situation for the franchise.
Like I said though, his image is the best it's ever been right now.
Absolutely.
let's bang out these last two and then load up the calls because it seems like a lot of and a couple different teams on here that I didn't expect, like a lot of different flyers. So I'm interested to see what we can unpack. New Orleans plus 125, and I'm going to go San Francisco minus the 165. Boring.
I'm with you, Rico.
Old favorites. Anybody going outside the box? You're not playing the Cardinals. You play the Cardinals, you're off the show.
I really want to. I really want to try to make a case for the Panthers, but the more and more I really broke it down, I almost think the Saints should be bigger favorites in this division.
Me too.
Almost a minus sign, right?
It's not even just the quarterback, which that is a big upgrade. The defense last year was so hard. They had so many injuries on the defense, from Marshawn Lattimore to defensive linemen, just all over the place. They were hurt. If their defense can stay healthy, it's a top 10 defense. It's very good when they're healthy. If they like Olave's there. If they can get anything out of Michael Thomas, it's a win. The tight end Johnson played pretty well last year. I think as much as people trash Derek Carr, I said earlier in the show that he burned me last year going in on the Raiders preseason, and that didn't turn out good. I still think he's much better. He still can sling the rock. I think Olave is fast. He throws a good Carr throws a good deep ball. I think that's a connection that's going to work. I feel good. I just think they're going to be.
It's just why we had so much hype with the Raiders last year. He had so much hype.
This team is a lot better.
Team around them.
Devontae Adams is like
Weaker division, too.
One player.
Yeah, but it's a huge player where he threw everything to him.
But they had success as a tandem.
But he's not in the division with the Chiefs and the Chargers.
I get it. I get
Didn't the Raiders give the Chiefs fits in a game last year? Like
He was.
close enough.
They've also lost to shitty teams last year.
Yeah.
You know that they covered the spread.
I don't know. It's just I'm that divisions. I love bad divisions. I think it's very funny.
I was day trading the Falcons last year, left
I
and right,
know.
just to dunk on Shea.
No, I'm not.
They got close.
You guys think I'm kidding? I'm taking the Buccaneers plus 9.
No, I was gonna say I'm gonna sprinkle it on the Buccaneers plus because
Why not?
who knows? It's
Why not?
it's a tiny bit. It's not my pick. I'm just saying a little sprinkle.
Does anyone want to sign up for this bet? Because I have an NFC South call too. Do you want to sign up for this bet? If the Bucks get the number 1 pick, you get tarred and feathered on the last day of the season. Because that's how low I think the Bucks are. I'm rooting for the Bucks to be the number 1 pick.
I think they could be the number 1 pick. I don't think you're wrong, Rico. I'm just saying.
All right, fine. No. If you were,
I think they're the worst team in the NFL.
I'm saying they
That's not
could be.
true.
They could.
no. I need him to be like, there's no way they're not the worst team in the NFL. Then you take the
Who's
bet.
worse?
I just don't know about
Who's
them.
worse, Cardinals or Bucks?
Cardinals, but I'm rooting for the Bucks to just be a disaster.
The Cardinals are going to be bad, but
The Commanders
I'm
are
sorry-
going to struggle.
they'll struggle. I don't think they're going to be like worse team in the NFL bad. I think the Commanders are like 6 to 8 wins. Like, I think they're decent, but like bad decent.
I don't think the Texans are going to be better than the Bucks.
Bad, not that bad.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Like bad, but not like
Of course,
horrible.
our
I
favorite
can't
thing.
fucking wait for this to start.
Jack-
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's been too long. Jack, NFC South. What do you got? Working? Hold on. On air. Jack, you good? Oh. Rob, Bears, NFC North.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, you're good. Go ahead.
Just real quick, wanted to shout out to you, Rico. I'm a rider.
Thank
Excited
you.
for Pick'em. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm a Chicago fan, and I'm sure you've heard about all our improvements off season. But I really do think, especially watching preseason, just some of these playmakers that we've brought in, and I think our running back committee is very underrated, and they'll do a great job of improving with Montgomery. But I've seen a lot of grit, a lot of determination, especially the defense taking a step up in terms of aggression and the Ndakwe signing. I think ultimately it's really going to depend on how we can do against the run and the development of our defensive tackles with having 2 rookies.
All right.
You're gonna still stay.
Attacking core. I think, honestly, a top 8 team of safeties in the league with Brisker and Jackson. I think that we can definitely compete, for the division or, even like a wild card spot. I mean, we have one of the easiest schedules.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's taking the division. I think the division's still wide open. I'm not ruling them out of being in contention for that division.
I mean, they're
think
last,
everybody's
they're plus
in it.
400, so they're just giving them.
Yeah, it's super
Yeah.
close.
There's a shot.
Packers are
If you're
375, they're
taking
400. They're
Yeah, they're right there.
Plus 425.
They're not going to win the division.
They definitely can make a run at it. I'm
It's
not
a
ruling
bad-
them
it's
out.
not
Thanks,
great,
Rob.
But they're not. No, they're not.
I also think we're gonna know real.
beard on it.
We're gonna know real quick
Never
that
put my
Fields
beard on it.
if Fields take the leap.
Ever.
Not that convincing.
No, I can. The world can be. You could say, will the world be living tomorrow? I will not bet my beard. I'll bet something that with anybody for the Bears will, but nothing with my beard.
Case NFC West. Seahawks are gonna win this. Why?
I mean, look at the offense. The offense just got even better with Smith and Jigba. I think the secondary is decent too. They got some young pieces back there, but I'm just not sold on Purdy or Lance or whoever starts on the Niners. Geno has another year like that. They have Kenneth Walker. Old line's getting better. Pete Carroll knows how to win. I think it's a pretty open. I mean,
So
Rams and
that's
Cardinals.
that's where I'll
pretty
stop you
win.
though. You're not sold on. You said you're not sold on Purdy.
I'm not at all. No.
I don't know if I would be
He's played
sold
what?
on Geno. He definitely had a great year, but like
the last 4 games were not good.
Are we sure Geno is for a guy who is like out of it is
Gross.
now all of a sudden a mid-level quarterback?
I don't care if you're not sold on Purdy.
But
I can put security guard Pat on at the quarterback of the 49ers, and he'll figure out who win some games. That offense runs itself.
It does, but I think now the explosiveness of the Seahawks. I mean, that could be a top 5 offense. I mean, with the guys around Geno.
Okay.
Don't
Smith and
hate.
Jigba,
That's if he
I think
takes
a
the
lot-
lead.
Could be a
I
top
think a
5
lot-
receiving core.
I
That's
think
if
a
he
lot
takes
of
the lead.
people are
Thanks, Case.
way more down on the Seahawks than they should. But again, Geno's the big question mark.
He's right about the corner. Like what Tarek Woolen last year was incredible, but yeah, I mean, it's just tough when you're not sold on the quarterback, but you're sold to literally every other position. You're sold.
Yeah.
They have awesome receivers.
That's the problem.
awesome
You're
receivers.
sold at.
You know what?
offensive
That's
line,
another.
You're
That's
sold at
another
running
tandem.
back. You're sold at defensive
Oh.
line. You're sold at linebacker. You're sold at the secondary. You're sold literally everywhere else.
Debo and Ayuk are
That's the
kind of a.
That's probably up
kind
there.
of
We
a-
left that one out.
Is a good duo.
DeCucci, what do you got? Division winner.
You guys talked a lot about the division, so I'm going to pivot real quick here. A little bit of a longer shot. I like Jordan Love 13-1 to lead the NFL in interceptions. Back in 2019, he led all college football in interceptions. He threw 17 in his last year at Utah State. In limited action so far in the NFL, he's got a 4.2 interception rate, 8 interceptions on 220 attempts. I think this number's pretty good. I imagine he's going to play all 17 games. The coaching staff kind of has an incentive to see what they got in him before the draft next year. So at 13-1, I like this. I think this number's a little bit too wide. I'd play it down to 10-1. I'll hang up and listen.
All right.
Thanks for having me on, fellas.
I like that. It's outside the box. I, didn't
I like
expect
that a
it
lot,
to be
actually.
Going that way.
Gucci gives good info.
He does.
That was
He's
That
good.
was like that was calculated. I think it's
Very well reasoned.
Yeah.
I think it's a good
Nick,
number.
Sorry, I got a few lined up. Sorry. Nick in Chicago. I want to get through all of them. Nick in Chicago, college football. What do you got?
Yes, I'll be quick. And also, it's an honor and a privilege. When I hear Rico get the call through, it's a fucking honor and a privilege to be on Pick Central. Just want to let you know. Some of these callers don't appreciate that. But I'll keep going. Real quick, I think Ev already touched on it. Hawaii Flying Rainbows might be the worst team in college football. We're taking Vanderbilt 16.5 over 55. Me and Rico could start at corner for that team. Second off, Brandon Walker's got something shoved so far up his ass that he's not taking Ohio State to win that division. Oh, actually, the whole unnecessary roughness team. I don't know what the fuck they were doing, Big Ed. And lastly, that little fat fuck from Amish country. Yeah, he lost a little weight. Kent State under 2.5 pisses me off that he thinks he's the goddamn mid-conference legend. Yeah, I'm talking Jeff Nadeau. We're fading the fuck out of that spite bet. Thanks, guys.
He's so far off the radar. I love the guys who bring back
Nick
grudges. Everybody
Nick.
caught one there.
Nick, calling more
Yeah,
often.
Nick's good. Call
It's
in.
not even about nothing.
We need. I
That
do
was just
like
an
the
electric call.
I
I
think
appreciated the energy.
in terms of revamping as well. The callers. I don't know if we get a second line, but you can get like VIP status. I like the guys who have the personality, like,
Agreed.
or just bring the stats.
Nick, that
Also,
was-
like, even listen, if you're a boring personality but you got great info and you follow the money, you're telling us about the public bets. We rise you up. Like, call in 100%.
Two things. One, we don't have to stop at 12 right away. You know that, right? We can keep if we want to get.
Yeah.
Second, Njigba broke a bone in his wrist that will require surgery.
Fuck.
He has a chance to play week 1, it says, but it's so he broke a bone in his.
Shit.
So as we're talking about the Seahawks, that
hurts that
hurts.
offense.
Tough.
Jed, Titans win the AFC South.
Oh shit! Am I on?
Come on, brother.
Titans
What a
came from
hit
fucking
that was.
7-game losing streak last year to fucking lose the AFC South. It ain't happening again this year. I trust Mike Vrabel. Word of the day is accountability. Alexa, play levels. Let's fucking ride.
Man, that
Does
was
he really have an Alexa?
what a.
This guy's
Callers are
nuts.
bringing it today,
Shut up.
huh?
Yeah, they are.
We like the energy,
I
people.
love the
nuts.
callers,
Nick,
man. I
Jed.
love the callers.
Is that what that was in the beginning? The water?
couple bubbles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's blowing bubbles.
He was definitely on a different planet
Titans,
talking
baby.
about.
I
I
like
love
the
that.
guys from the
He's gonna
different
he's gonna
planet.
talk me into the Titans.
I want more of that like callers where like where Takuchi and Mark feel like everyone like where it's like we know they got some good information
And if we go at you and like I dismiss that there, so that's a tough one because it's a season long bet. But if you go and I'm like USC's covering the number this week against UCLA, and somebody calls like you are dead wrong, I'm telling you UCLA, like you get to dance on it as well.
yeah,
like,
you get to
know,
call
you
back,
Get
of
to, you get
course.
to dance on it as well. So
100%.
Jake from Ohio, I think we started you early, but had some trouble. You got the Browns in the AFC North. What do you got?
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, got the Browns going. I know y'all said that this division was a tough one. It's as tight as they come, but I think y'all overlooked the line of scrimmage and the importance that is. The Browns with the offensive line, the improvements to the defensive line, bringing in Jim Schwartz on top of that, improving the 3 years of hell of Joe Woods that we just got over, not to mention all the skill positions. We also shored up the back of our defense. Meanwhile, you got Cincinnati with all the young guys at the back end. Lou's great, but I don't know if he can coach those guys up to the level that they have had. You can tell me that the Ravens have, upgraded this offense, but I'll believe that when I see it. And, I had 3 years of the Baker Mayfield experience. So Kenny Pickett and the Steelers, that's what they got to look forward to. So I just think you guys are kind of overlooking the Browns since we've been off-season champs 3-4 years in a row here. But, it's as clear as day as where I'm coming from. 13-4 season right here.
I would say that the Browns are the team that could surprise the most people based off if Watson gets to elite he was unbelievable. Had him in fantasy like that year. He was just as good as everybody else.
Yeah, for sure.
He was fucking lights out for the Texans.
Any other division.
Lights out.
And I just don't see the Browns jumping over the Ravens and the Bengals. That's the thing. If we're talking a different division, I really like the Browns. I like the Browns to make the playoffs as kind of a pick.
I'd probably argue
Reach.
this is the only division that truly any four teams could win. It wouldn't shock me. Like the Browns being really good wouldn't shock me. Because they're the most volatile team in this division. Because I think they could be really good, or they also could be
Them being better than the Bengals would shock me, though, if that makes any sense.
That would, yeah, but I guess, all right, fair enough. But I would say if they won, the Bengals I would expect would still be, like, it'd be a scenario where they're both very good.
Right.
And I think with the Browns, I think that Chubb is weirdly so underrated. He is one of the, I think.
We need Ebo in here.
I know he's a big Chubb guy.
Ebo is, which I'm not counting him because he has, like, numbers to support it. That basically, based on his yards per carry and things like that, that he basically claims that Chubb should be in the GOAT status.
Yeah.
In terms of running backs.
But if you do look at Ebo showed me some of the
like
stats.
The yards per carry, it is pretty crazy.
It's like Nick Chubb is
it's like
fucking
well over 5, which is
insane.
Every year, 5 or more.
And
Every
now-
single year.
very impressive.
And now there's not going to be Kareem Hunt back there with him. Like he's got to have most of the carry. I don't know.
He's a beast, dude.
The Browns are just simply a question mark.
Nick Chubb is wildly underrated.
I
agree 100%
yeah.
with you guys saying. Everything you guys are saying, absolutely right.
I'll give Ebo the credit. Ebo's been like pounding that nail for a couple years.
I want touchdown scorers too, by the way, every week. If you can be, I will only take your calls. I'll cut everybody else off. I will listen. You could have the show if you nail touchdown
So
scorers.
are we gonna do?
Throughout the
Are
week.
we gonna do again like Thursday and Monday bets
Yes.
as a parlay?
Come with it though. I think the workshopping while we're here.
I don't. Yeah, I didn't like that.
Like-
Everyone, and we have to take. There's no vetoes. You just have to take everyone's pick. We have to trust each other.
Right. And then, but
As long as they don't contradict.
every
that
week
happens.
we'll get like the Olympic standings type thing, or like some kind of graphic where maybe a jet, like somebody's in first class and the other person's like in the fucking back or in the mud, like whatever. Some kind of standing type thing. But yeah, we'll have the standings of where it's at because I also stumbled Listen, I'm not a fucking good gambler. I stumbled into that primetime kickoffs or primetime field goals last year. It was fucking gold.
Yeah, the over 3.5.
Oh, my God.
Thursday field goals over 3.5. Was
Thursday and
fucking-
Mondays.
Thursdays
dude.
and Mondays,
PFT
yeah,
was
they were
killing
fucking
it.
Gold. What do you mean it was PFT? I think we both separately.
I'm saying he had been doing it for a while.
Yeah, he's been on it for a
He's been a
while,
big,
so
like,
that's
over
fair.
field goals
That's
guy.
fair. Tio in LA's got something on John Taylor. What do you got?
Hey, boys. So I survived a hurricane just so I can give you this news. Jonathan Taylor just requested a trade. He's going to the Miami Dolphins. It's plus 300. Put it in now. He's already liked messages before all this stuff started happening. Book it right now. Enrico, you want touchdown a bet?
Yes.
Bet Caleb Williams this weekend to rush for 2 touchdowns.
They play
2 touchdowns against.
Do you have that? Yeah, we were going to touch on college. Do you have that? Is that out yet? Team total for USC.
So it's not out, but the other sources are saying it's about like 26.5, 27.5 line right now.
Didn't spread.
No, the spread is like 30, I thought.
I haven't looked at that line.
I thought the spread's about 30 and the total is 64.
It's minus 30.5.
So their team total, if I'm doing the math, should be around 45.
Hammer it.
That
Hammer it.
that might
Hammer
be
it.
my
Just pick 'em,
favorite.
hammer it.
That's probably my favorite play of week 0. I'll hint you at
There we go. I love it. All right, let's
Thanks,
go.
Theo. Did anyone else get thrown off? Maybe it was just me being an idiot. It says John Taylor on there. Did anyone else get thrown off not saying Jonathan?
I knew who
I was going,
So
who the fuck is John Taylor?
When I was
serious.
when I was typing it in, when I asked him what he wanted to talk about, I was just
No, it's
really
not your
quick.
fault. It's so used to calling him Jonathan Taylor, so it's like
boxer Josh Taylor.
Fucking, that's why. US over 66.5. I love that.
yeah, so it's 66 and they're laying 30. You said I thought it's around 38 they were laying.
I'm about to take the over
30.5.
30 and a half. So that gives me about 38 to 38-7. I think if their team total's anywhere under 50, I'm probably playing it.
And I like the under in Notre Dame. Notre Dame minus 50.5.
Is Navy going away from the triple option?
Or
like,
I think they're still gonna. I mean, I could imagine. Like that'd be crazy. They don't run the trip. Like
That would
some form of it.
If the first play's in shotgun and they just throw it, I will be in shambles for the
I think
rest.
they're not. They're mixing it up a little bit. I could be wrong.
I'm just so excited to watch a meeting. I don't give a fuck about who's even playing. If the games suck, I'm just excited to watch a meaningful game and me to bet on it. Like, do you take Notre Dame right away minus 20.5? I think you have to.
I like Navy.
Is it at Notre Dame or is it neutral?
It's in
Ireland.
Ireland?
Yeah, it's in Dublin.
I like
Oh,
Navy.
that's under City also.
You know that I was gonna say under. I agree. They overseas for sure.
Yeah, plus with Notre Dame's defense. Let's do the
Although
pick.
last year I'm pretty sure that Nebraska. I gotta think. Did that overhit?
I think it was close.
It was really close.
Nebraska
It was
Western?
sloppy. I remember it was sloppy.
Yeah,
I think
happy. I've been
double digits on
23 and 34 for 6 weeks. There's just no
what's
way.
going on back there
We
with the
gotta-
record?
I think the
guy stops
I think
or
the guy stopped like a week ago. We gotta figure
Dukes
something
is
out.
going to have to take.
Oh, good luck with
or-
that. Diamondbacks money line. It's Gallon Day. I'm gonna take the Dodgers Guardians over 8.5. I think Syndergaard's on the mound. I think he might give up
He is.
9 runs himself. Big Ev, what do you got?
I'm on the Pirates in the over today. On the Rangers, I think they bounce back, and I'll just keep riding this short money. It's Grayson Rodriguez. He's pitched he's pitched good down the stretch. I'll take the I'll take the Orioles.
Marty 4-pack.
Money.
I can't believe I'm doing the Yankees minus 1.5.
Oh God, Marty.
Gross.
They're
This
minus.
is the day
they're minus 190.
Colin, can you have the
Marty,
JPP picture up too,
This was
please?
the day.
I
I woke up and I almost bet against the Yankees. I've never done that in my life.
can't do it.
I almost did it today.
Can't do it.
I would recommend anyone out there
Well,
bet you should bet the Nationals.
Peraza and Pereira are playing too, which I'm
The
excited.
Nationals
to
have been
watch.
hot.
I'm excited to watch.
They're hitting, and I want to say Gray is pitching, who's been like their best pitcher.
I'm going Cubs, and then I like the. I'm taking a little flyer on the Guardians. Like the Guardians aren't that bad to 170. I'm not expecting that to win.
What do you got?
Yeah, so I have my play of the day is Mike Clevenger, the over 17.5 outs. He is facing the Mariners, who are red hot, but on the flip side of that, the Mariners also used their bullpen for 5 innings yesterday. So I think that they could go with Clevenger for a while. Also, like the Dodgers, minus 1.5.
Ev, what do you got? There it is. Shout out Louis and Primo. JPP. Look, JPP enjoying some beverages at DJ's. And then coming back to the show house, man of the people. Ev, what are your picks?
The game already.
You gave them? All right, good. Barstool Radio running right now. I want to give another quick shout out to my guy, Danny Sprinkle, checking out the Instagram. A couple of pipes right down the fairway.
Oh, boy.
Hanging out with Cedric the Entertainer. I told you the program is on the rise.
Who?
Danny Sprinkle, Utah State.
No episode tomorrow.
No. Barstool Awards tomorrow night. Barstool Radio
Back
right
on
now. Back on Thursday. See you then.